Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Late Night Vision Show. This is episode number 239. My name is Jason. I am the owner of Outdoor Legacy, and as always, I've got my co-host, Hans. What is going on in your part of East Texas tonight, sir?
We are, well, thanks for introduction. Thank you for that good introduction. Not as good as normally. You usually say something a little bit more flattering.
I normally say something, and then I talk about Hans East Texas on YouTube.
You're all business today.
I figure everybody knows that. You're the celebrity, and they all know that. I don't need to tell them who you are.
Yeah, according to Jason's mom, Jan, I am the more natural of the two on camera. So shout out to Jane this week. Thank you so much for watching. Jason's mom is a loyal watcher, and apparently just doesn't look as natural on camera as old Hans does.
So what we've learned is that my mom watches, and it's not to see how awesome her baby boy is. It's to see to tell him what he's doing wrong and why Hans is better.
Well, you keep it up, Jan, because I tell you, I get onto him every week about all the things that he's not doing right. He's not. The transitions aren't smooth enough. But anyway, thank y'all for joining us. Jan, thank you for joining us again this week. This is episode 239, and this is our third installment of the Best Stuff series of the Late Night Vision Show. So we started out, if you haven't seen them yet.
For 2022.
For 2022.
We've done it multiple years, for the third for 2022.
For this year. So we had the entry level. That was episode, 237. Episode 237, the best entry-level thermal scope that's under $3,000. Episode 238 was the best thermal scopes under $4,000, and we had two divisions, a 384 resolution division and a 640 resolution division. And then this week, best thermal scopes under $5,000. So if you want to check out the prior to best of shows for 2022, go check it out, thelatenightvision.show.com. Also, we are in the thick of it, Jason. And when I say thick of it, it is busy, busy. And the reason is because most of y'all are calling in and asking about scopes. But if you are interested in purchasing a brand new night vision or thermal optic and you need advice, you don't know what to do, you watch these shows, there are guys, as you know, Jason, that take notes, and they are calling with questions, with a list of questions. But if you need help deciding, and you check out our website, outdoorlegacygear.com. If you see all of our products there and you say, you know what, I still need advice, I still need to talk to these guys, you can call us 877-350-1818. And if you are ready to purchase, just need a couple things answered to get that final, get over that line to finally making that decision, give us a call, 877-350-1818. Jason, let's jump into it. Let's get this winter going.
I want to say one quick thing. I want to say one quick thing about what you just said. 100% agree with all that. One thing that Hans was saying, if you just, you're trying to get over that final hump, guys, also don't feel bad if you don't know where to start. Call us there too. And I know I've had a lot of guys call. I know you deal with this too, Hans, guys that watch a lot of the shows and they say, every show I watch is another great scope review. And then I get more confused because I think I liked the last one. Yeah. And so I don't know what to do. And I'm like, listen, let's just start at the beginning. Forget everything you've watched and let's start. Tell us what you're doing. Tell me, what your budget is. And we go through this laundry list of questions, and then Hans and I can help you narrow that down. And a lot of times what we might actually say is, okay, now we've started at ground zero. We've got this narrowed down to 2, maybe 3 scopes that we think would really fit you. Now, if you want to go watch those specific reviews and check those out, if you're still curious, maybe you haven't seen those, now you can go do that. So it's kind of reversing it. Rather than you watching, 10 shows trying to number it down, let us help you number it down. And then when you get it finally decided, again, you can swing back to, and we'd love to have your business at that point. So for whatever that's worth, yes, let's jump into this, Hans.
Yeah, so the I guess our first division, which is going to be very, very short, is the under $5,000 thermal scopes in the 384 resolution class. So our contender, the Pulsar Thermion 2 XQ50 LRF. Jason, you want to say who the winner is in that division?
Drum roll.
Yeah. So
please, I need a drum roll here. It's going to be actually, and I think that name is actually the Pro. It's a Pulsar Thermion 2
with
XQ50 LRF Pro. Got to add Pro in there somewhere. So yeah. So guys, this is quick and easy. This is a fantastic scope. This scope is replacing the Pulsar Trail 2 XQ50 laser rangefinder model, and the XQ50 Trail laser rangefinder that was discontinued. I would say, gosh, I don't even know. I'd say late first quarter, early second quarter of 2022, went out of production, and basically there hasn't been anything available from Pulsar in that exact area until late this fall, just recently. And again, Pulsar Thermion 2 XQ50 LRF Pro, or put the Pro in there somewhere. A fantastic scope. We'll do a review of this scope at some point. We're not going to have time right now, but I do want to just give you a quick explanation of what it is. It is a Thermion. So if you're familiar with any of the other Thermions, hey, I'll tell you what, the Thermion 2 XQ35 Pro, we just reviewed that recently. The scope is going to be just like that, except it's going to be a 3-power magnification and have the laser rangefinder. And I'll go ahead and give you the nutshell. How does this compare to the Trail? It is going to have a significantly better image quality because it's going to be a couple models newer than the Trail 2. So it's an upgrade in image quality. Again, it's going to be a 3-power base mag with the laser rangefinder and all the normal Pulsar features. And again, we'll try to get to a review of that hopefully after the new year when things calm down a little. But that is a great scope. It is on the market. They are available, $4,299. And for what you get, all the features and the image quality, I think it's a really good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like Jason said, it started out this year where the Trail 2 XQ50 LRF was on the market. It has been, and there was a large gap from when it was discontinued to when the new one was released, the Thermion 2 XQ50 Pro LRF. I've got one mounted on a rifle right now. We're going to be testing it very soon, but like Jason said, can't get to it this year. So moving on, the under $5,000 category, the 640 resolution division. We're just going to list them off and kind of talk a little bit about them as we do, Jason. So we got starting the list, and this is in order of price. So we always start the lower price in that category and work our way up.
Hold on, Hans, before you start. Now, today all I'm doing is interrupting you, but I wanna interrupt you one more time. We give this disclaimer at the beginning of every show, and so I want to do this now before we really jump into it. These picks that we're about to make, what we're calling the best of, these are our favorites. This is Hans and myself, our favorites that we've picked for what we like, for what the hunting style that we do, as well as what we think is a really good value for the dollar. We think that our picks, they're our favorites. We think that they're a good bang for the buck. We think that they fit what we're doing, and are usually going to be popular scopes that fit a lot of people. That's why we like them as well. And so I want to be clear. Again, we say this on every single show. We don't sell optics that we don't believe in. So there's a lot of scopes on the market that we don't sell and we don't review. So I can truly say and mean it that everything that makes this list is a very good optic. It is a legitimate contender for the best of, and I can hear what you're doing and what your budget is and your shooting conditions and hunting terrain, and I can recommend one of these other scopes, not the one that might be my favorite, but I can recommend it for you and do it in a clear conscience, because I'm just going to say it. We don't sell dogs, I mean, that's it. We sell good optics. So every one of these is a legitimate contender. And I know we get some of the comments sometimes, on these videos, and guys say, yeah, but why did you not pick this scope? Or why did you not pick that? Guys, we got to pick something. We're picking our favorite. Again, we could blindfold ourselves, pick a name out of the hat, and we would be guaranteed to pick a fabulous scope, because that's what we've made sure that we're selling, we're reviewing, is fabulous scopes. And they're all a little bit different in their own right. And each one, they're tools. So each one can fit your job or your needs a little bit different than another one. So that's my disclaimer. I always give that at the front. Some people think, oh, you're just trying to PR and do that. No, this is the truth. This is our favorites, and I'm telling you, we say this every single week, but there's some darn good scopes on this list.
Hey, absolutely. And even, Jason, if your budget is $5,000, that doesn't mean your scope that is going to be right for you is going to be on the list that we're talking about today. It may be in a lower price division. So,
that's exactly, you're saying, meaning if your budget's 5,000, you may not need to spend 5. You may need to spend 43 and get a scope that fits you better. I think that's what
43, or it may be in the $3,000 to $4,000 price range, for depending on what you're trying to do. So, but as we all know, the more that you spend with thermal optics, just like so many other products on the market, you're bumping up in picture quality and some different features. So anyway, let's jump into our 640 resolution list under $5,000. So the first one, beginning the AGM Adder TS50-640. It's a 2.5 power base magnification. Price on it is $4,495. Jason, this is the big brother of the AGM Adder TS35-640 that we talked about last week. Which is this 50 model is exactly $1,000 more than the 35. And really the only difference is going to be magnification. So this is a 2.5 power base magnification with 8 times digital zoom. Great optic. When AGM came out with this, their first tube style of scope that they released on the market, and it's done very well, especially the 384 models have done really well in their price range too. But another good product released by AGM and another contender for the best of awards this year.
Yeah, I think the adders have really hit the market running. I think that it's funny, and I don't want to get into all this right now. We can talk about it later. But when the Thermions first hit the market a few years ago, back in 2019, that was the first 30 millimeter, tube daytime scope designed thermal on the market, and it was met with some resistance, and people were like, well, that doesn't look like a thermal, because we'd never seen a thermal that looked like that before. Right. And so it was definitely, people were standoffish. There was concerns. They've grown and grown. And now, iRay, they've got, this same tube style design. AGM has got 4 of these now. The market has really accepted these. They've embraced them. And there's a lot of good reasons for it. I mean, we like these style of optics because they're so darn versatile. You can take this adder and mount it on an AR-15, any kind of AR style rifle, no problem. But you can take it and put it on a fixed stock rifle, a bolt action style rifle, and really do well because you're getting that extra eye relief. So anyway, I think it's interesting how we're seeing the market really, again, as I would say, not just accepted, but embraced, and it is really moving to this style of optic. And there's still plenty of what we call the traditional style or square blockish style, that we're accustomed pre-2019 to seeing a lot of. And so anyway, I think the adder is another great addition, very long battery life. It is the first AGM optic, all of the adders, to include audio recording. So I think that's a good direction to be moving as a brand. So adder's an awesome scope. And again, 2.5 power, 640. Yeah. And it definitely fits the bill for certain people. Yeah, definitely. Their claim to fame for our show is probably the longest battery of life of any rechargeable batteries that we've tested on our show. So, One more quick thing I want to mention about the adder. This is true of all the adders, and this is where I think the price is a little misleading. So it's $4,500. But every adder includes a $200 American Defense Manufacturing QD Recon mount. I mean, that is a legit $200 mount. We sell that mount. We use that mount for all of the other, tube style design scopes. And AGM is putting one of those in the box. So if you want to be really honest about it, you are getting this scope $200 cheaper because you're getting that mount. Most people are having to buy that mount with other brands. So really, we could say this thing is $42.95, and you're getting a $200 mount. So I think really value for the dollar, it brings a lot to the table.
Yeah. So let's talk about the elephant in the room of this show, and that would be the Pulsar Thermion XG50 3 to 24 power optic, 640 resolution, 12 micron for $4,499 at one time. Jason, when it was released 2 years ago, it was the talk of the industry for really the main reason being that it's a BAE thermal sensor that had video recording, and it also had rechargeable batteries. But now a lot of people have questions about it because they still can find them brand new, but they're also they also know that Pulsar has discontinued them. So there's a lot of questions as far as what is going on with this optic. Maybe you can clear that up for everybody.
So, yeah, so there's a lot going on here. So let's just talk real quick what Hans brought up. When this scope came out, it was the darling of a lot of people's eye. It was the darling of our eye because it was the first 3-power, 640, 12 micron optic ever, and forget the 12 microns if you want to. It is the BAE sensor, which was a really big deal, but it was the first 3-power, 640 modern scope to have all of these features. Again, video recording, the Wi-Fi streaming, the removable battery, all this stuff. It had all of this, and it was the first one to ever be on the market under $7,500, which would be some of the Envision line. So it was a huge deal when it came in at $59.99. Sold like hotcakes. We loved it. Hans and I were hunting with them, eating them up, and it was amazing. But what happened shortly after is it's the way technology works. Bering Optics was waiting in the wings with a scope they were already in the works with, which was the Super Yoder 50 millimeter 3-power 640 12 micron. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Also, waiting in the wings was iRay with their Ricoh MK1 RH50 3-power. 640 12 micron, $6,000. And those scopes were not reactions to this. They were already in the works. The XG just hit the market first. Mm-hmm. And then these scopes came along, and I'm going to call a spade a spade. The image quality was better on those optics. They just, again, they had a little bit longer to work on their stuff, a little bit different sensors. They were just better image quality. And the Pulsar still had a lot of great features and that Pulsar brand name and quality that people love. Then Pulsar released the Thermion 2 XP50. And when they did, that optic actually had a better image quality than the XG50 did, even though it was only a 2-power, but it had a better image quality. Well, now Pulsar is left standing there going, okay, what do we do? Mm-hmm. Everything is beating this scope, including our own less expensive optics. So they dropped the price to $5,000 that had been on the market for over a year. They had recouped a lot of their research and development cost on it. So they were at a point like, okay, we got to do something. We're going to drop this price. So they did, and it did well. But what we saw is that, again, it's just technology. As this scope aged, it didn't age well. Mm-hmm. What went from the hero was, I don't want to say a zero, but it was just, these other optics were better. Again, Pulsar was continuing to increase image quality in their other optics, and it was just leaving the XG behind. So eventually the decision was made to abandon the XG50 with this BAE sensor, and in the future come back and do something with the Linred ULIS sensors, which is what Pulsar uses in all of their other optics, which would be kind of getting back to their own home turf. And so that's what happened. And now you can find these XG50s laying around. They're getting closed out. And there's some really, really, really good deals on these things, under $4,000. And so, again, it's not that this scope was not a fantastic scope, because it really was, but it's just amazing what a couple years can do to some optics. Sometimes a 2-year-old scope, it may be just as good as what's on the market today.
Right.
Other times, they just don't age well. And I think that the XG50 is just not aged well. It went from, again, revolutionary to marginalized by other optics again. And being in fairness here, even Pulsar, they were eating their own scope. I mean, they were cannibalizing it with their own brand, increasing image quality in their own optics. So I do believe, not believe, I know, Hans and I have actually seen it. There's going to be a Thermion 2XG50 laser rangefinder model that's going to be coming, fingers crossed, for Q1 of 2023. Right. We don't know when it'll be here, but it is going to be coming with a laser rangefinder. It's going to be a significant improvement over this optic. So I've said all that to say, you're like, man, why'd you talk so long about this one scope? Because I think it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
We were so big on it.
Right.
It was sold like gangbusters, and it rightfully should have. But like I said, technology, time flies. We're all fickle, and something better comes along, something new and shinier. We're going to go to it, and that's kind of where it's come. So that's just it. It's discontinued. Like I said, you can find some good deals on it out there, but we would contend that there's a lot better options in this day and time than that scope.
All right, so let's move on to our next contender. Getting halfway through the list here in the under $5,000 best thermal scopes 640 resolution division. We've got the Bering Optics Super Yoder. It's the 50 millimeter. It's a 3 to 12 power optic. The price on it's $4,595. Jason, this is the third. We had 2 of their scopes, the Super Yoders, in the under $4,000 best of 640 resolution division last week, and that was the Yoder 25 and 35. This is the 50, so this is the big dog, the Super Yoder 3 to 12 power, a favorite amongst all of you coyote hunters out there that want an optic that's very small and compact with video recording and all kinds of stuff, good stuff in there, but that is the third and final Super Yoder. There's not going to be another one in any other division. That's it. The 50.
At least for 2022.
Yeah.
There may be next year. Yeah, right. For this year, we're not going to have any more. No, fantastic scope. It is the first scope in this list so far. That is of that small, compact design. You know, the Thermion and the Adder. We've already talked about the 30 millimeter tube style scopes. This is, Hans is right. It is very small and compact, lightweight. A lot of people really like that design. It's not generally what we would advise for bolt action rifles. It takes some, adapting a lot of times to get that eye relief you need. So it's not fantastic for that. Again, it could possibly be done. But for the guys shooting anything with a collapsible stock, it is fantastic. Image quality is great. Like you said, the 3 power 640, it is a very, very popular scope. This is currently the only scope that Bering sells that includes in the price, no additional cost, the LaRue tactical quick detach mount. Their other scopes all include just a Bering Optics OEM QD mount that works great, but this is the very nice LaRue tactical mount that comes on that. Plus, Bering has got a 4-year warranty, so that's the other thing that makes this a nice value for a lot of people.
Yep. All right. So next up, Jason, we got the AGM Varmint. That is the TS35-640, which is a 2-power to 16 power base magnification with a laser rangefinder for $4,995. Runs off an 18650 battery, comes with a 3-year warranty, comes with an American Defense Manufacturing mount, obviously 640 resolution, and very small for a laser rangefinder optic. Jason, this is a very small and compact design of these varmints, and have really been very popular and really like that. Under $5,000 optic with a laser rangefinder and 640 resolution. Really, really good deal.
It is. It's going to be your least expensive laser rangefinder option in a 640. And it is, Hans said it, and 18650 batteries. Huge deal, guys. We love, love, love these generic style removable rechargeable batteries. The market loves them. And I think that's just a really good step in the right direction. It does come with the American Defense quick detach mount, again, as AGM always includes on their scopes, which is a big deal. And I think, again, value for the dollar. You're getting, a high-end QD mount, a laser rangefinder, 640, nice image quality, all those things for under $5,000. It's hard to beat.
Yep. So we've got next up the iRay Ricoh MK1 RH35, which is a 2 to 8 power optic. It does have the option of a laser rangefinder module that is a separate cost. But just for the scope, $4,999. Jason, this scope often seems overlooked in this category. At a 2-power optic with 640 resolution, 12 micron rechargeable batteries. As far as design looks, if y'all are familiar with the MK1 RH50, which was the first one of these to come out of this style from iRay. Great scope, but this RH35, a lot of people don't know about it, and it does seem to get overlooked quite a bit. Good optic, good picture image, lower magnification, removable rechargeable battery, 5-year warranty, and a good deal, again, at under $5,000.
I agree. I'm sitting here. I had some little notes scratched, and you just said every one of them, which is 5-year warranty, removable battery, all that. And I think you make a good point about it being overlooked. I think it really does. I think it gets lost in the shuffle. It's big brother, the RH50, which is the 3-power 640. We'll talk about that in next week's show. Best scopes under 6,000. That scope is extremely popular.
Right.
And then when you drop down, I think this scope's little brother, as maybe we'll call it, is the iRay Ricoh MK1 RL42, and that's going to be the 4-power 384 version of it, and that sells really, really well to coyote hunters for the magnification and the great image quality. And I think this is the syndrome of the middle child. I think it just gets lost in the shuffle. Again, I don't want to say nobody buys it, but it's definitely not as popular. And I really believe it's the middle child syndrome. It just gets lost here in the shuffle. It's a fantastic scope. Again, it is exactly like the RH50, but it's just 2-power versus 3, and it's at $1,000 less. Or look at the price, 1,000. Yeah, well, it's 900 right now. So that's a lot. So anyway, great scope. It is that more traditional style, which a lot of people like, and the 5-year warranty, again, makes that something that I think you should at least give a long, hard look at with the optional laser rangefinder. If you want to add that on there, that's something you can do at the time of purchase. It's something you can do later down the road, and when I say add it on, it's not like you're marrying this thing and welding it on. I mean, you can put it on and go use it for a hunt, and, it's just a little Picatinny rail adapter. Flip that lever, pull it off, throw it in your hunting bag, and don't use it till you need it again. So I do think that is really nice to be able to have it when you need it and take it off if you don't.
Absolutely. All right, so last on the list, the Pulsar Thermion 2 XP50 Pro, which is a 2 to 16 power, 640 resolution, comes with video and audio recording. The tube style scope that you're familiar with the Thermions, but it's got the new Pro sensor in it, the minus or under 25 NETD thermal sensor. Price on it $4,999. Jason, say a little bit about it, and let's talk about the winners.
Here's what I'm going to say about it. I'm going to do something this is not in the plan, okay? So here's what I'm going to say about it. The Pulsar Thermion 2 XP50 Pro. Guys, I'm holding up an award. There's no need, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, this is one of our 2 picks right here. I want to talk about it, but I figure we might as well show this so then we can explain why we're picking it. This is, congratulations, Pulsar. This is a fantastic optic, and to not leave you hanging, Hans, let's go ahead and tell them the other, and then we'll talk about the XP.
Yeah.
Tell them the second winner.
Yeah, our second winner, and then I'll go ahead and tell our honorable mention. The second winner is the Bering Optics Super Yoder 50. And then our honorable mention for this category is the iRay Ricoh MK1 RH35. So congratulations to our winners, Thermion 2 XP50 Pro, the Super Yoder 50, and honorable mention, the Ricoh RH35. So
Okay. So let's talk about it. I
Yeah.
just figured to get that out of the way, and
Absolutely.
then we can explain. So, guys, if you've watched this show, it's not going to be a surprise that we picked the Thermion 2 XP50 Pro. And the reason is that Hans and I have never been able to contain our love for this scope. We loved the very first original Trail XP50. I mean, from the original one. I mean, Hans and I use those as our personal scopes, and then moving all the way through, to the original Thermion, the Thermion
Right.
2, now the Thermion 2 Pro XP50. These optics are the Thermion XP50. That's what I'm speaking of. I mean, all along this whole line now has just been phenomenal, and we think that it is for our needs. We like, for a lot of our style of hunting, we like the 2 power, the wide field of view, the lower magnification. We think this is just a fantastic scope. Image quality is excellent in this price range, and it offers so much. I mean, and this is what we really love about Pulsar. I don't think you're going to find another scope, and I'm going to say this is a big comment to make, but I don't think you'll find another scope on the U.S. market besides a Pulsar that is going to have the overall fit and finish and attention to detail that the Pulsar scopes do. And I mean that from their entry level to the most expensive they've got. These scopes are just extremely well made. This is not a bash on any of the other scopes, but I think Pulsar just spends a lot of time on researching and developing everything from the rubber on the buttons, to the plastic, to the menu system. It's hardware, it's software, and
Right.
and I think when you pick one up and you use it, you'll feel that. And then it's not like you're lacking in the image quality department. It is there as well. So
Right.
just an excellent scope from top to bottom. Again, doing a lot of hog hunting. This is just one of our favorite scopes for the again, lower magnification, super wide field of view, fantastic image quality, all the features, the video recording, the audio recording, the smartphone app. I tell you what, Pulsar, give them this. They have more reticle options. If you're a reticle snob and you want the reticles, Pulsar has got more reticles than any other thermal manufacturer, and you can change them to a huge amount of colors now, which I like as well. So you got lots of colors. Anyway, it's just a very, very good scope. Now, let's talk about our other winner here, this Super Yoder.
The Super Yoder, it is, I'll tell you, for a 3-power optic, and I'm just glancing at the list, the only other 3-power optic was the Thermion XG50, and it's discontinued. So
Sure.
right now on the market in November of 2022, it's the only 3-power optic 640 in that price range. So great, for, like I said, for coyote hunters, but for anybody, if your average shot, I would say, is going to be over 100 yards. If your average shot is over 100 yards, a 3-power optic probably is going to be pretty good for you. This is the scope for guys, though, that want something small, compact. Maybe if you're trying to take it on and off the rifle quite a bit, maybe if you're trying to use it as a scanner when you're not hunting. There are people that, hey, I only hunt a few times a year, but I'd like to have a scanner for looking at my cow pasture or something, around the house. So, if you're looking for something small and compact, the LaRue tactical mount that comes standard with it is a fantastic mount. It will secure it, will keep it in place, and allow you to take it on and off without re-zeroing it. The 3 to 12 power magnification, again, makes it good for people taking a little bit longer shots. But I would say It also comes with a higher than average manufacturer warranty, a 4-year warranty. The standard for a long time has always been around 3 years, but Bering Optics offers the 4-year warranty. Good optic. Really nothing negative to say about it. I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say this. I think it's the bang for the buck.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I look at this list and I look at these prices, and you're getting a 3-power with this kind of an image quality, with a 4-year warranty, with the LaRue, I mean, what you're getting with this package for $4,600, I mean, $4,595, that it's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
I say a bargain, and people are like, oh, it's $4,600. But in this list of things, it is a very good deal for what you're getting, because Hans is right. It's the only 3-power besides the XG that's gone now. So if you want to get a 3-power, you're going to have to bump up into next week's show, which is going to be our under 6,000.
Right.
And I'm looking at that list. I'm not going to name any names and get into that yet, but I'm going to say this. You're basically going to spend $900 more to get to the next scope that's above a 2.5 power, okay, to get into that 3-power range. So that makes the Yoder a very good, value for the dollar for what it is. And I think there's a lot of coyote hunters that really want a 3-power. And I mean, a lot of hog hunters too. They're not all spotting and stalking and getting up there silly close like we do sometimes, but they want that 3-power, but they don't want to spend, $55,000-$6,000 to do it. This is the scope for you. So I think very, very good value for the dollar. And then kind of rounding this out, we've already talked about the middle child, the RH35, and I think it is. I think it's an undervalued, overlooked scope for what it brings to the table with that fully removable, rechargeable battery pack. 6 to 7 hour run time, 5-year warranty, very good value for the dollar.
Yep. All right. So that is our best of for under $5,000. We did a very quick 384 division and our 640 division. Congratulations to our winners in that 640 division, the Thermion 2 XP50 Pro, the Bering Optics Super Yoder 50, and the iRay Ricoh MK1 RH35. Now, if this is your first time to watch the show, you've never seen it before, but you were searching on YouTube or on the internet and you came across our show, again, thank you for joining us. But we sell optics. Yes, you can listen to us talk about them. You can hear us give our opinions on them, and you can actually buy an optic from us. OutdoorLegacyGear.com. Jason and I, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Central Time, have a cell phone strapped to our head, and we are on the phone from bell to bell, answering your questions. We are selling scopes. And yes, you can order from us, 877-350-1818. Call us if you have questions and you need help on making a purchase or need a recommendation. 877-350-1818. All of our past episodes, theLateNightVisionShow.com. You can find them all there. If you joined us on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Please give us a subscribe if you're listening on the audio-only versions. And you want to take a look at what these optics look at like, and you want to check out our past reviews on all of these optics. Again, you can find them in our library on the LateNightVisionShow.com. If you want to find Jason, you can do it on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, Outdoor Legacy Gear. If you want to find me, you can find me on YouTube at Hans ETX, that's Hans ETX, and you can find me on Instagram at the same thing. But thank you all for joining us. This has been another great show. We look forward to bringing you the next one, Jason, under $6,000 and it's the 640 resolution. That's it. There's no 384, thankfully, up there. So we got another show coming for you next week, another best of.
Yep, next week's going to be a good one. I'm looking at the list here. It is not a huge list, but it is some very stiff competition.
Right.
And I really, really, really like a couple of these scopes on here. So it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
Guys, we hope to see you here next week. Again, stay tuned. We're going to continue out for the rest of 2022 doing best of. I know you may be listening. You may say, gosh, dang. I can't afford any of this stuff they're talking about. Well, stick around. We're going to get all the way. We're going to talk about handhelds, and we're going to do multiple price ranges of thermal handhelds, and we're going to do a digital night vision show. So we're going to have something for the guys who say, man, I want to dip my toe in the water, but man, I don't have a huge slush fund here that the wife's letting me go out and spend some money on. Listen, we're going to have some optics starting at $499 that will absolutely get you out there in the field, shooting hogs, shooting coyotes, a couple 100 yards right out of the box. And stick around. That show again will be coming in the coming weeks as we continue to roll through the best of series. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We will be here next week, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So between now and then, y'all stay safe in the fields and keep making those bacon pancakes.